So everything's all 100% recycled junk. Well, she works really good in the snow. Well, I'm working on building a hitch adapter to convert your 2-inch receiver hitch into a 2-point or 3-point, like an agricultural or farm style 2-point, 3-point hitch, like a tractor. So I'm thinking about just building 2 points down here. This is an old trailer hitch off of a Dodge truck or whatever, and it's just turned around, and I've got an adapter joiner piece here. It's just a 2-inch square tube that fits inside of both of them, so they can both go together like that. And might be a little bit, yeah, there's a little bit of wiggle room there. There's no pins in it right now, and there's a little bit of extra weight on that side too. So anyway, I'm just in the middle of figuring it out. I think I'm just gonna have that like a 2-inch joiner just like that, and then I cut off the old brackets that used to go to the frame rails, and I'm reusing them, recycling them, whatever chunks of I can. It's pretty substantial. It's like 1/4 inch thick. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's 1/4 inch thick. And just cut it off there, and I'm gonna move it to where I want it. I think I want it to be 28 inches like across, and this was 32 or something, so it was 2 inches too big on each side. I thought about cutting it off, but the fact that it's boxed in makes it stronger, so I'm just gonna keep those ends. I've seen hitch adapters like this online, and they're not that expensive, but I figure I can probably build one pretty easy. Most of them have a winch on top, like a small ATV winch, just something to lift the hitch up and down, and that's it. Because 3-point attachments on tractors, most of them they lift up and down. So it'll have like 2 attachment points on the bottom, which are like a hinge, and the attachment will stick out a little bit, and the 3rd point up top will have the winch cable go to it, and it just lifts the attachment up and down. This hitch here, I've mounted it upside down, so it drops down, but it's still, even though it drops down, it's still a solid 16 inches up off the ground, pretty high up off the ground. So that might change with a little bit of weight on it, I'm not sure, but I'm just gonna go ahead and weld these plates that I cut off. These are some chunks. They used to be on here like this, so I cut them off, and now I'm gonna flip them and weld them on there somewhere around there. That'll make 28-inch brackets. I guess most of these 3-point hitches, I guess they're 28-inch spacing on them, from what I could measure, from what I could figure off of farm implements and tractors and tractor attachments. So you can get some pretty cool attachments, like a simple pull plow, or yeah, I guess it's a plow that goes on the back, and you pull it. So I built a snow plow last year on the Suzuki, the 4x4 Vitara, and that was a good little project, fun, and it seemed to work good. So I'm gonna try something different. I like to be different, so I'm gonna try this farm adapter, this hitch adapter for the 3-point hitch, and see if I can't do something really easy, simple, basic, cheap, and functional. Really simple and really functional. Got some ugly steel wheels for now, but better than nothing, because I had to return the alloy wheels to the previous owner. So got some temporary wheels for now. They're actually not too bad. There's some grip on there. They're for winter snow and ice tires. They're not too bad for now. A little bit weathered, but like I said, I think they're only temporary. I'd like to go put something a little bit oversized on there. Check that out, boys. Oh, frig yeah. Well, I started drilling and cutting, and I drilled some holes and cut some slots out. Oh, there's the piece I cut out, melted into the ice already. She's cold out today, and let me tell you. I think this stuff is 1/4 inch thick, I'm not sure. It's pretty substantial, pretty good. You can tell. Anyway, I drilled the 7/8 hole here on both these homemade brackets, and these are just pieces that I recycled. So that's the basic of it. You got your 2 pivot hinge attachment points here. They're just stationary, they don't move. There's going to be a small cheap electric winch up front, up top, and it'll grab on, the winch will go to the 3rd link, and it'll just pull the 3rd link. So I think the plows, I think they're like a 90-degree, and the 3rd link goes up and down. So the winch will just pull the 3rd link back, and the plow will go up in the air, and it'll just pivot on that. Check them out. What is it? What is it, buddy? Well, this was on sale. So, yeah, why not? I was looking at one online a little bit cheaper, but by the time the shipping and tax and everything, I think the shipping on top would have been the same price as this. So it was cheap, it was on sale. It's not huge, but it's very similar to the 4000 that was on the Suzuki. This is pretty much the same as the one that I put on the Suzuki. I think it was a 4000. I've got this connector piece here. It's 2-inch square tube. I think it's 3/16 wall. I'm not really sure how thick that is. I don't think it's not quite 1/4 inch thick. So anyway, There it is. It's got these holes here, these big ones for the pin to fit through. And if I put it all the way into that hole, then there's only a couple inches left sticking out. So I kind of want it to be a little bit longer. I want it to stick out a little further, so it can be stronger into this hitch here. So I don't think I have any longer chunks of this, or I can't find any longer chunks of this, so I think I'm going to drill the pin back here, which should still be strong enough. Not too bad. One of these old markers kind of fits. It's a little bit snug, but she fits. There she goes. So that sticks out further now. It should be enough for either bolting or welding. Should be better now to attach to. This is just another old trailer hitch. I'm just gonna join them together like that. We probably have a bolt or a pin through here just in case. Maybe that's all I need is a pin. Look at all this awesome snow. Oh my goodness. It's like one of those warnings from Jack Frost and Mother Nature. So I'm drilling this here. I marked it as close as I could get it in with this one. There's a hole in this one for the pin to go in. And I marked it like in as close as I could get it. And it's a little bit close to the edge. I think there's a good 5/8 of material here behind the pin. So I'm just going to do that for now. So I got some markers going through the holes right now, but the holes are there they are. And I just got these markers going through the holes for now for pins. And this one's a little bit smaller than the other one, but the other one fits almost perfect. So there's a little bit of room there for wiggle room, but I think that's acceptable. Maybe if I get some good sized pins in it. Like I said, it's okay if it moves a bit if you're plowing over bumps and stuff. So I think this is best suited if you're going to put a hitch attachment like this onto a vehicle. It's pretty much best suited for a plow. I wouldn't try to use too many other crazy attachments on it. I want to put the winch plate, I think, right just flat right on top of this tube here, and I think it just needs to pull like straight, maybe up on a little bit of an angle, but straight in line. It won't be pulling sideways or anything. So I might just put 2 bolts in it, maybe some oversized bolts. I'm not too sure, but there's a chunk of weld here, so I'm going to grind that down and figure something out here. So I started doing a little bit of pre-assembly last night, and I pre-assembled a couple things. I put some wires on the motor and I put some wires on the solenoid. I put the fair lead here on the plate. Oh, it almost fits like a glove. Well, here's sort of where I'm at right now. I've been working on this winch mount, which stands up on some scraps. I'm doing pretty good at recycling what's left of this what's left of this hitch. Actually, there's nothing left of it because those wings that I cut off, I reused them here and here. So everything's all 100% recycled junk. Anyway, working on putting this up here. So I've got this. It looks kind of ugly, but it's not too bad. It's not too bad once you get that on there. So I think I want to move it back a little bit. I did a little bit of trimming on those pieces there, and that should allow these bolts to go further back, and that'll allow me to move everything back a little bit. Since I'm only using 2 bolts, I was thinking about drilling them oversized, using bigger bolts. But these ones are graded, these are hardened graded bolts, so should be okay. Can't say enough about these Christmas tree bits, I call them. They work really good. There we go. I would have liked to have used more than 2 bolts, but I think they're okay because they're graded bolts, and they're only going to be lifting the implement, or they're only going to be used to pivot the implement, and that's pretty much it. So now the winch can go on there now, I think. Might have to finalize a couple of the welds. I can't remember which ones, but there's a couple welds that need to be finished, and then the winch can go on, and she's almost done. Well, I need to run these cables and run this cable through here, put this thingy on there, and yeah, not too bad, coming together. Went and got some legit pins. They're only like two or $3 each, $2 and change or something like that. This one here, I got a marker in there, so I've been using those markers. So I better put some legit pins in it. Well, I got some of the wiring hooked up just temporarily, sort of. It's not really bolted down or tucked in or anything. But I've got the battery in there, and I've got the solenoid all wired up. Here's the controller, and it's just in and out switch. I think it's like a handlebar type switch. It's a heavy little attachment, let me tell you. This one is 6 feet. And I had the plate tack welded on there I forgot it wasn't finished. I wasn't finished welding the plate to hold the winch on, and it just ripped those tack welds right off the weight. So I tried using the arc welder for the first time, and I used the arc welder to tack weld that on, and today I used the MIG welder. I'm more familiar with the MIG welder. I don't know, I'm not too sure about that. It comes down pretty quick, wow. Doesn't, like I said, it doesn't really go up that high. I'm not on even, I'm not on level ground here either. I bypassed the fair lead, roller fair lead, so the winch cable can go more up and down. There's quite a lot of stress on that thing. That thing's heavy. Might have to get a lighter one or a smaller one, or might have to build one. Not too sure about that. Might have to make this a little bit longer and move the winch back a little bit maybe. I took the fair lead off the winch there, so it can pull more upwards and provides a little bit more room for it to come up. It lifts up a little bit higher now. It's not too bad.